Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and it's the big one. It's 2SRL Tier 1 at Suzuka, and we're seeing blue skies up ahead. It's a bit of cloud up there as well, but joining me in the commentary booth up here is Icewind. How are you doing, Icewind?
Doing fine, thank you, Chief. Nice to be here again. And I have news for you that it's not going to be blue skies in the race, so it is Inter's weather, I've been told, by our resident weather foreman, Terror Incognita.
Okay,
so it's going to be a wet race.
Thanks to Terror for the information. I saw a copy just disconnected there from the lobby. He's rejoined, which is great, but yeah.
I think it's, yeah, I think he was desynced with WoW or something. I saw it in the chat, so he's doing to fix that.
Okay, hopefully that's the first and last of the gremlins, as we're looking at Suzuka, a classic track on the calendar, one that everybody looks forward to, enjoys for the most part, especially mainly in dry conditions, not so much the wet, so that'll be interesting. But quali looks like a full dry session, and we have 18 drivers on track. So let's see who we can join for a look at this lap. It's very interesting.
Marion, I think, is the first guy on track.
Who, sorry?
Marion.
Marion, okay, let's have a look at Marion. Yep, so Marion crossing the line. That bump after the last chicane is gone, thankfully. But the ghost of the bump still haunts many a driver as Marion heads down into turn 1 and turn 2 combination, and it seemed he was a bit tentative there.
A little slippy into turn 1 for him.
Yeah, track hasn't quite evolved just yet. We're at the start of the session, so we'll get better as it comes along. And he's making this right for the S's, tries to keep it nice and tidy as he feeds it into Dunlop. It's a uphill elevation, but you can carry a lot of speed for here, and also for the Degner combination of both right-handers, quite fast. Second one you have to slow down a bit for, and straighten up the car onto the brakes. So this heavy braking zone for the hairpin. And did you know that this slight kink to the right is called 200R? I did.
Yes, actually did know that.
Of course you did, of course you did.
Yeah, Spoon Corner next.
Yeah, and we'll get Spoon, very, very famous corner, Spoon Corner. It's two left-handers. The second one's a bit slower, but can carry a lot of speed in onto this back straight, and its cars tend to veer over to the left and then to the right just to keep the track as short as possible. And then 130R. Flat out in these cars, and then braking just after the 100-meter board if you're brave, and through the final chicane on the par early. And I've noticed some drivers take a bit of a wide kind of entry onto the start finish line there, as Marion pull with 126 flat, which I tell you what, for a first lap is pretty fast.
Pretty good. He was a little bit slidey into turn 1 and then the last chicane as well, so that's at least 2-3 tenths there on both of those corners combined, so he can probably go faster than that.
Yeah.
A little bit loose in the rear.
A very modest and honest banker lap. As some idea, 126.2 in P2 Fox as well. I saw Fox during the week, very pacey, and he's showing it today here, P3s. Oh, as Triton just nabs that P3 from him, a 126.5 from Triton. Wow, 126.6 in P5. We've got Terror as well, who's 127.2 on the pad. Not bad from him for a banker lap. And Bajoran, I think.
Hugo about to smash the first time on the board, according to the second sector split here at least. So let's see Hugo coming to the final corner here, and just a charge to the line, and DRS open, and it's a 25.8 for a banker.
And I don't think that's the last of the 25s.
I'm just gonna, I don't even know, I give up. No. But yeah, a very good banker lap from Hugo.
No, what do you mean is that has inspired you to practice more and embrace the grind, yes? But yes, he makes it look easy, but he has put a lot of effort in, a lot of time into the game, and I think this game particularly suits him quite well.
Yeah, that is his favorite track as far as I understand as well, so...
Ooh, yeah, actually, just mentioning that, it's his home track, I believe.
Yeah, I think so as well. So he really enjoys driving around here, as do I, by the way. It's probably the best track on the calendar to me as well. A really fun track to drive. Lots of sweeping corners and very technical track as well. So
Yeah, indeed it is. Oh, some idiot left the session, so we are having a few gremlins in this session. Legend, I'm on board with him as he makes his way through the S's. Again, seemed a bit tentative there.
some idiot saying in chat that he did his banker lap without audio.
Wow. Okay. That
Not
is
ideal. He's rejoining now, I think. So some kind of game bugs plaguing the start of this race here, and
that's not ideal, but I mean, he's won P3 with that lap, so
yeah, 26-2.
he obviously knows this track like the back of his hand, as do most of these drivers. I know Legend though is he's usually an assist runner, but he has made this step up to tier 1 and looking tidy so far. Gets wrong in Spoon and goes off, and the second part of Spoon just gets the front on the curb, and that will spin you out. He's learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I actually was a bit surprised. I thought he completely dropped assist, but I understood that he drove the tier 2 race, for example, with line this week. So, bad boy Legend.
Yeah, and one thing to take into account here, if it is a wet race, some of these guys will be modifying their setup to suit the race more, whereas some guys will probably stick with their quali setup and just try and wing it. As Copy is coming up on a Marion, who it looks like they're on an out lap, whereas Copy is on a actual hot lap, so hopefully Marion sees him, gets out of the way and doesn't hold him up too much. As Copy is about to come across the Spoon curve. Throws it into the first part, second pit, backs off in the bit on the throttle and gets on as early as possible using all the curb on the exit. And again to the left hand side just to keep the track as short as possible. He's heading down the 130R, absolutely flat out.
This track configuration on these cars, it's easily flat out. Copy just about 2/10 shy of Hugo's time there, so let's see what he can do across the line. It's a 25.8, so that's a great final sector for Copy. So he's actually been faster in the final sector there than Hugo, and that's saying quite a lot.
Yeah, another guy who's actually been doing pretty well recently is Tipsy Bob, who's on a lap at the minute. Does get a bit wide on the exit of Spoon curve. That will cost him a lot of time on his back straight, but let's see what he has as he makes his way down to 130R. It used to be quite a scary corner, not so much now, but I tell you what, in the wet conditions, it will go back to being very scary.
They're probably gonna look for a P9-ish here. Let's see what it is. It's across the line, and I'm pretty spot on with that. So at least for once. Yeah.
Another guy who's been on a bit of a tear is Danny Coe, and he's making his way down to start his lap. He's slowing down for the final chicane, probably going to try and get a best exit from this as possible. Get on the par and DRS as well here just before the start finish line. Let's see what he does, how brave he can be through turn 1 and turn 2. Yeah, tidy enough so far through the S's. You can make up a lot of time here, and you can also lose a lot of time here.
Hugo 2/10 up, just up the road from Danny as well, so I'm just following his teammate. So Hugo once again about to smash that fastest time on the board. He's through the hairpin there and just navigating some traffic on the way, but should be fine for him. So I'll keep an eye on Hugo.
Yeah, I've got Danny Coe on the screen at the minute. He's locked up into the hairpin, but he seems to be on a pretty fast lap here as he approaches the Spoon curve.
3/10 up.
Oh my word.
And he had a really bad final sector on the last run, so let's see, this could potentially be a low 25 and gets the final corner a little wrong, so it's not the perfect lap from Hugo still, but this should be comfortably fastest 25.4 for Hugo, and that was with a mistake in the final corner as well.
Oh, Danny Code locking up again into the final chicane, but let's see what he's got as he crosses the line here. Stand tight to the right hand
3.
side. P3, yes, another 25 on the board. So 3 drivers so far with 25s. And I think we're going to see a few more as this track just comes to the drivers and the rubber is laid down.
You know, the amazing thing is that Hugo has at least another 3/10 in that lap on him, because he went deep into the final chicane, and that probably cost him about 2/10. So yeah, I think nobody will have an answer to Hugo's quali pace here today at Suzuka. It's gonna be a tall order anyway, but we'll see. I'm open to surprises here, of course. One guy who hasn't yet set a time is Timo, who is coming through Sector 1 now.
Yeah, he's the starter. I'm not watching Legend at the minute. He's about to finish his first valid run and locks up a little bit into the final chicane. Shouldn't cost him too much time as he gets a good run out. And let's see what he's got on the board. It's a P4 from Legend, a 125.959. A great lap from him.
Timo on his way as well, with a pretty good first sector. And Legend in the meanwhile has lost about 3/10 to Hugo in the first sector alone, so he can probably still find some time there. Danico retired from the session. Did he crash out?
Yeah,
he has crashed out on the main straight, I think.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
So something has happened to Danny. Timo coming to that corner soon enough, so maybe we can see Danny's car, what has happened to him. Has he crashed into the pit wall, probably, actually?
Yeah, his car...
look at that. So
oh, you can see his debris on the track as well as Timo actually dismisses it. P6 for Timo, 26-1. Very solid lap from him.
Some idiot also coming to the line, and he's 3.5 tenths up on his time, so some idiot actually having fixed his audio issues, I would expect. So anyway, goes P3.
Yeah, also we got on the lap. I see a lot of drivers out there at the minute.
Marian is on his next lap as well.
Yeah, 1/10 up, just over 1/10 up. Oh, goes wide, and doesn't involve it.
Too much time lost there.
Yeah, that's going to cost him big time, isn't it? He's got a big traffic ahead as well.
Yeah, he's 2/10 down on his time, so I would expect him probably, if he still has another set of tires, he's probably going to pit now and try again.
Yeah, Triton as well. He's on a lap. He's just at their hairpin as 1/10 up, approaching the spoon corners. Is it spoon corners or spoon corner? Is it just one big long corner?
I just call it corner. I think that's what they say. I don't know. But
and Triton gets a bit wide from the apex there. That's going to cost him. He did see his teammate ahead. I wonder if I put him off a little bit. He's going to get a bit of slipstream off Timo.
Yep.
And might get him back that time he lost. He is 0.069 up on his time. So we're going to come down.
That would be enough to put him up 2 positions, though, if he can keep that.
Ooh, and big cut there in the first part of the apex. Still a valid lap, and that wheel is still on track from Danico.
Yeah, that's Danny's wheel, right? So Triton doesn't improve in the end.
Yeah.
Wow, by the way, is on a very, very fast lap here. He's 5/10 up on his time, and potentially looking to jump up to the top 3 here, and he does so indeed.
Wow.
Up to P2.
P2, yes, great lap. 25.6, made up a lot of time there in that last chicane, it seemed.
Just a quick word on the championship battle as well. It's basically between Some Idiot and Hugo Some Idiot, leading by 41 points. And then everybody else is 100 points away, I think.
Yeah, I've got the driver standings there on screen at the moment there, but you can see absolute domination from Some Idiot. But Hugo is he's just within reach, he's within striking distance, so bad race Some Idiot, and it's back on again.
Then it's Danny and Copy for P4, P3, sorry. So yeah, but I guess we can jump back to the track here, because it's Hugo, for example, is about to start his final run, and could we potentially see a low 25 here? It would be great to see that live on the stream. Hugo starting his final run.
Let's see how it's done from the master himself.
Yep. Nice and tidy through turn 1 and then through the S's. A little bit of tentative maybe there on the second part of the S's, but let's see what the clock thinks about this, because I've been wrong before.
Yeah, a few yellow flags there. Shouldn't put him off. Oh, gets a bit of opposite log there, yeah.
Yep. And he's only marginally down on his time, but he can still gain that, because I think he still had another 2/10 in the final sector there. Some idiot getting out of the way there, his main championship rival, who is yet to start his final run. And what was that? That was a retired Red Bull on the road there? I didn't quite see what that was, but
okay. Maybe?
Yeah. So what has happened there? Did it crash out or something? Okay. Anyway, Hugo on his way on his final run, and then we're about to cross the sector 2 split, and let's see what the clock thinks about this one. He's just marginally down on his time, but if he can get this final chicane right, he can still improve, I think, because this is where he lost some time the last time, and he's got it much better this time around, so this could potentially be a low 25. Hugo, DRS open and across the line. Ooh. And he improves marginally. So it's still a 25.4, very fast. Trying to catch Copy as well in his final run here. He's improving by a 10th in Sector 1.
Yeah,
Copy possibly trying to snatch back that P2 from WoW.
Yeah, the margins are so small right now, so any, like even the smallest amount of time, if you can find out on track, it will serve you well. And Suzuka, it is quite hard to pass, especially in the rain, so these track positions are key. Oh, and Copy
again.
Yeah, sorry, Copy got it a bit wrong through Spoon. I think he's going to have to back out of this lap. Well, he's still on it, but he definitely would have lost a bit of time there coming out of Spoon. Oh, he's 2/10 up on his time actually. So let's see what he does as he makes his way through the final chicane onto the start finish straight. Jesse retires, nice and tidy from Copy through the final chicane there, and he goes P2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Formula Chris as well.
Beats well with that. You're lagging a little bit for me, Chief, there, but I'm not sure if it's a problem on my end. But anyway, some idiot also across the line. I didn't quite see his splits, and he is just ahead of WoW and behind Copy, so that's very, very close for P2, 3, and 4 there.
Yeah, we've got P6 or
Timo
P7.
Up to P5.
Oh, nice, well. Nice. Legend across the line. Just pips Timo P5 for Legend.
By 1/1000 of a second.
Wow. Yeah. There we go.
We have it, actually.
That was pretty good, yeah. Enjoyed that.
Yeah, and Timo actually beating some really fast guys once again. So Timo is absolutely on it the last 2 weeks. We remember him from Russia last week scoring a podium. And once again in that fast pack, so beating the likes of Danico, Marion, Formula Chris, Terror. So a very good lap from Timo once again.
Yeah, he joins the 125ers. 7 drivers were able to set 125s. I mean, that is incredible. Not so much for you guys.
Look at those gaps, by the way. Like Legend is 943, and then Timo 944, and Danico 945. So this 1/1000 of a second between each of the drivers from P5 through to P7.
That's literally like a slice of paper between the two of them.
Yeah, and yeah, Tipsy Bob confirming what I've already been told from Terror earlier in the session. So it is going to be a wet race. Inters I've been told. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the setups actually work here in the wet now. And we've already seen earlier, just a couple of hours ago when the Tier 2 guys raced, they also had a wet race. And it is very, very, very hard to overtake in the wet.
Yeah, and just while we're waiting on the guys loading in, and I've got the constructors standings on screen at the minute, so there is some other prizes to play for. Alfa Romeo pretty dominant on track, or on top at the minute, but Racing Point P2, Williams P3, looking pretty strong there actually.
And Red Bull, maybe that's the closest battle there, but it looks like Alfa Romeo is almost 100 points in the clear. So, yeah, and then it's over 200 points from Racing Point to Williams. So, the race for P3 in the championship standings is still on.
Yeah, and it looks, it doesn't look...
Inters it is indeed, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look too wet, so I wonder if it is going to dry up, or if we've got inters for the full race.
Only been told that it's a wet race, so wet race inter. So it's, I'm expecting it not to dry up, but of course we're just gonna have to see what happens, I guess. The predicted pit stop strategy, there is one stop from inters to inters. We'll see what the weatherman has in store for us today.
Ice, I wanna, like, I tried to outdo you there with a fact about 130R, but you knew it already. But listen, what does the R stand for? Do you know that?
Isn't that some sort of a radius for the corner, like, you know, the...
Yeah, so. It's radians apparently.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's like the fun fact actually is that you said the 130R is easily flat nowadays, but it's also easily flat nowadays because they changed the geometry there quite a bit over the years. Like, let's say 20 years ago it was a much tighter corner and there was no runoff areas or anything like that. So.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Ice. It was actually after Alan McNish had a high-speed crash there that they changed that. So.
Yep, I remember. In 2002, I think.
But here we go. The guys are making their way through to the final chicane to get themselves set up here. And
Owen saying in chat that these guys are probably quicker in the rain than I'm in the dry, but I don't think that's quite true. Owen, you're a pretty fast guy, so.
You might be talking about me.
Not quite. Oh yeah, but you're a race winner from this week as well. Anyway, forming up for the grid then. Hugo taking the pole position, followed by Copy, Some Idiot, Wow, and Legend behind him. So we'll, I'm getting absolutely dreadful camera angles, but I'll hopefully get it started once we actually get the lights on the board. And final car is on the grid, and there we have it, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And then the traditional little bit of a wait before we actually get underway here, but revs are on, and Hugo gets a pretty good launch, but I think Copy gets an even better launch off the line, and he's already ahead of him. Like, look at that start from Copy. He's already easily in the clear. Hugo slotting in second behind him. Legend up to third as well. So great start from the pad guy, whatever you want to call him. And then some squabbling in the background there. Marion challenging Timo. Timo running a little bit off track, and what's happening there at the background? I think Fox is also overtaking Timo, so Timo is losing some ground there at the back. And what else have you picked up, Chief? I think it's a fairly clean start otherwise.
Yeah, I think Danico didn't get the best of starts. He fell down a few positions there, but Noel at the back, I think he's had an issue, has he? He's right at the back. Oh, and it's Bajarn off on the Degner. Yep, he's the first casualty, but he's, yeah, no damage, so he's back in it. But yeah, Copy with an incredible start there. Hugo, yeah, like he's lucky.
It looked like Hugo got a pretty good reaction, but Copy just, in the second phase of the start, when you put the power down, he just completely vanished into the distance, and he was already ahead of him well into, or before they even closed in on turn 1, so a brilliant start from Copy, and also Legend as well, up to P3. Seems to be relatively easily following Hugo so far here, so I think Hugo might be cursing a little bit like it's wet again, but
yeah,
he didn't win yesterday. Jensen won the race yesterday, so this based on the quali pace, it should have been pretty easy for Hugo, but in the wet it's another story, and Legend is actually very close to him on the main straight. He's deploying absolutely everything out of his battery, but yeah, he's gonna wait for another lap, I think. Just trying to see what's happening there in the background, but nothing really for now.
Yeah, everybody's got away cleanly so far, apart from Bajarn with a small incident, but he's still on the back of this pack as well. But yeah, gaps are starting to form. I've got a wee bit of a breakaway from P6, P7. 1.1 is the gap there. But yeah,
I think Fox was, he ended up fighting Timo pretty hard on lap 1, so he's fallen off a little bit at the back of Marion. But he might be able to catch that back up. Very hard to say.
yeah, just having a look
Anyway.
I'm looking at the back of the pack here. Got Richard Grunswald. He's a new guy to this no assist here, so he's currently all over the back of Tipsy Bob. He's fallen off a little bit of Triton.
Yeah, Richard Grunwald, I know him from DMR. Pretty fast guy as well. I think he raced yesterday, but last week in Russia as well. So he's.
We've got a car
we have
off.
a yellow flag.
Yeah, it's Noel. Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
200R claims its first victim. Unusual to see someone go off there though, but I mean, they can lose it, maybe an overtake. Oh, and there is a move going on here. It's Legend on the inside of Hugo. Oh, no. The final chicane. A bit of contact there, but yeah, Hugo just muscles his way through. He says, not today, buddy.
Legend once again trying to deploy absolutely everything on the main straight. Hugo doing so as well, and Legend is gonna try a go around the outside of Hugo into turn 1. I don't think that's gonna work in the wet, but he tries to hang on there, but yeah, he has to yield after all. So Hugo maybe struggling a little bit in the wet conditions at the start of the race here, and Copy not really able to break away either, so maybe, I don't know, Legend seems to have really good pace in the wet.
And Nico makes his way past Jesse at the back as well. Jesse also had an issue there in the S's. Oh, and he's all over the show. He almost lost the car for the S's there. So his tires maybe a bit too hot for his liking.
Sir, absolutely nothing at all so far. So it's basically everybody is within 1 second of each other all the way down to P14. Cool. And of course, in these conditions, we don't have DRS to assist the overtakes. Danny is very close to Timo on the 200R corner, coming up to Spoon, but unable to make anything of it so far. Fox may be dropping a tiny bit back from Marion, but it's, I don't know, just 2/10 on this lap.
And I want to see if these guys are going flat through 130R. I'm on board with Danny Co at the minute. Let's see. No lift at all. Big cojones, big cojones.
Danny might be getting a little bit frustrated behind here. He didn't really have the best of starts, as you said, so he's lost a few positions. Copy sets the fastest lap of the race. It's really nothing happening. It just kind of proves how difficult it is to overtake in the wet.
Yeah, very, very hard. I mean, even on a dry circuit, it can be quite hard. I mean, you have to really be what do you call it, smart with the ERS management.
I like Copy almost making a little bit of a break at the front. I'm maybe a bit surprised to see. I wouldn't really say Hugo is struggling, but on Hugo's the level we've seen him in these seasons, he might be struggling a little bit for pace, because usually he's just running away with it at the front there.
Yeah, one thing to factor in is, are these guys going to stop, or are they going to try and run these tires to the end? Do you think it's possible, or...?
I don't think it's possible on this track. So I would expect to see at least one stop. I don't know, some idiot might be trying something crazy once again, as we know him, but I think it's not possible to do no stop on this track. What was the track that you did it on? Russia? But I think the tire wear is much higher here. So I don't think that's gonna be possible. And
Legend
Kirill,
again.
saying in chat that Jensen driver of today. Sorry.
Legend's all over Hugo again. He's trying to go around the outside this time, but Hugo blocks him off, making his car as wide as possible for the final chicane. But we've got a yellow flag sector free. It looks like Danny Co is in the dirt. Yeah, after 130R, he's went off, and he's... Ooh, lucky he ghosted there. But yeah, he's right down to P16, so... Came off the worst for wear. I think there must have been something happened in 130R.
So Danny, the race winner from last week, not having the best of luck here today. A little bit of a scruffy start for him, and he's now all the way at the back of the field after that spin or whatever happened there. I didn't catch it at all, so...
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him. P16, and he's 2.6 behind the next guy, Jesse.
Yep. Legend was almost spun there in the... through the final part of the assist there, but manages to keep it on track. And he's right on the back of Hugo once again, so looks like Legend is really enjoying these wet conditions, but it is just... and what is happening there is Marion overtaken Wow?
Yeah.
So...
I wonder if Wow had an issue. He must have had an issue on the exit at Digner.
I think he must have, because that's not really an overtaking spot that...
It's such a short straight, yeah.
Yeah. So Marion clearing Wow. I think Wow must have had some sort of a twitch at the exit there or whatever happened there. He goes really wide there, so that's probably a warning at Boone for him. But nobody yet has picked up a penalty. Let's see if we can curse somebody that way. No.
You're an evil man.
Yeah.
Legend not close enough this time on the Hugo, but he is setting purple sectors.
Yeah. He's still very close. I mean, yeah, Hugo actually sets the fastest lap of the race around that time, but Legend, I think, did catch him quite a bit toward the end of the lap there, so... yeah, let's see who of these guys flicks the switch first and actually goes for the undercut here. I wouldn't really expect it until something like lap 12. Oh. What is that for? I didn't really see anybody off.
I'm not sure, yeah.
There was a yellow flag on the main straight, but everybody's seemingly on track at least, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, Danny Co made a move on Jesse, so I wonder if that causes the yellow flag. I don't know, but yeah, Legend still all over the back. Now Hugo has closed in a little bit on Copy here.
Jensen saying in chat that the tires are 24% now, so I'm not sure who he is talking about, but that's indication that I don't think that anybody is gonna try a zero stop here.
Gaps are starting to form here. We're seeing a lot of 1+ second gaps. But Marion has picked up the pace. Wow 125 seems to be off the pace at the minute. But Marion is
struggling a bit as well.
Yeah, Marion is closing up on some idiots. So some idiot he's got to watch his rear. Some idiot actually fallen off the back of Legend as well.
Yeah. So a little, not something you see every day, that racing point is falling off the back of the other. So some idiot not enjoying the wet conditions as much as he. And what has happened there? Hugo's gone off in the final corner coming onto the main straight. So Hugo's lost some ground there, and he's gonna lose is he gonna lose 3 positions here? Because Marion is on the outside as well, and he's gone as well. So Hugo's down to P5. Whatever has happened there, and we have a yellow flag in. A safety car.
Jesse. Yeah, Jesse's crashed the 130R, so we have.
Oh my word!
And
sorry, I just kind of
went
for it a little bit.
Everybody's past pits apart from Bajarn. Bajarn's the first guy to pit on the lead lap here.
Yeah.
And Noel as well will be able to pit.
Yeah, but that's completely thrown the race around once again. Because Hugo, I don't know what happened to him. He just ran on the grass on the outside of the final corner, coming onto the main straight, and he's lost 3 positions that way.
Noel crashing into the barrier in the pit entry. But pulls into the pits, gets a new front wing and a new set of enters, as does Bajarn. But Copy, the lead driver, currently just at the hairpin, coming out of the hairpin. So no doubt all these guys are gonna pit.
Yeah, exactly, and try to go to the end. I think you can just about do that. For some people, it might be pretty difficult on tire wear, considering Jensen said a lap ago that it was on 24% already, so that would put it about... So if you do 18 laps, it would be close to 75 already.
Oh, Wow gets a penalty under the safety car, 3 seconds. Oh, my man.
That's a bit unnecessary penalty, but... unfortunate. But yeah, I wonder what happened to Hugo, so... Yeah, let's see, if everybody gonna drive into the pit lane now? I would expect that. Yep. Copy into the pits. Some idiot. No, Legend chooses to stay out. Why would he do that?
Oh, maybe he's...
Are they? Have they? I don't. Is this some sort of championship
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
preference or something?
Is he taking a hit? Yeah, that must be it. And Fox as well stayed out.
Yeah. Yeah, Fox did the same actually a week ago in Russia, and he got absolutely mugged at the safety car restart with the old tires. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna work for Legend. Legend was in a great position, but this is gonna. I don't know.
Jensen in chat saying Jeff saying puddles are clearing. I wonder. It's getting
Probably
interesting.
just, I don't know, you get a racing line on the track, but it's definitely still raining at least.
Jonas says pit for dries. I would not subscribe to that opinion, but some people just want to watch the world burn.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think this is, I just don't see how this is gonna turn into the favor of Legend or Fox, but yeah. It's still a long race, of course, so maybe there will be another safety car or something, but Legend is gonna be all the way at the back of the field when he does pit, so... And everybody else will try to go to the end, I'm almost certain of that at least. It's gonna be pretty rough on the tire wear, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, Jonas saying Legend has clean air, but I don't think that will... that he'll be able to make a break with these guys on fresh enders behind him. I wonder if they're gonna pit this lap.
Don't think so, unless Fox manages to hold them off or something. So that's the only, I don't know, card that Legend has on the table at the moment.
Yeah,
Fox will be able to hold them off.
I mean, what would you do in this situation? Would you pit now, or would you just go on?
I mean, if he didn't pit, I would probably just stay out and try to get a little bit of a gap to the guys in the midfield, because those are the people that you're going to be racing after you do pit. But I don't know. You've seen my strategy goals this season; they haven't been that brilliant. So I don't know. He chooses to stay out, so that's what I was kind of expecting.
Yeah, Fox 2 out.
Yep. They would have lost way too much time, I think, if they had pitted now. So the only way they're gonna try and do is so Legend I think has pace on Fox, I'm pretty sure. So his only way forward here is to try and drop Fox, but Fox on the other hand doesn't really want to hold off his teammate Copy either. So I don't know. We'll see what happens at the restart, I guess.
Yeah, safety car might be in this lap, maybe not though. Would you have a Merc way back, just making his way through the final chicane?
Should catch up.
Should hopefully
probably.
catch up, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I guess they're going just through the Dunlop corner now.
Just while we have a lull in the action then with a safety car out, I mean, I've written down a few things that Japan is famous for now. Just to keep the conversation flowing, I've got sushi is number 1, cherry blossoms, Mount Fuji, the bullet trains, sumo wrestling, karaoke, samurais, Fukushima, and Godzilla. Godzilla, of course, being the best thing that ever came out of Japan.
Okay, so I think I told you before the stream that I'm absolutely dreadful at small talk, so I don't know. We should have brought like Tipsy Bob in for a little bit of a stint while he's racing under that safety car. By the way, Tipsy Bob is up to P10.
Yeah, P10. Yeah, he's made up 3 positions. Looking at position changes, so Legend...
Is somebody spun off or what has happened there? Richard Brunwald has had some sort of an issue, I think, because he's missing a chunk of his front wing, and Noel is letting him go, so safety car in this lap, so I've absolutely no idea what has happened there at the background, but something has gone wrong.
Shenanigans at the back, but yeah, let's look at these guys up front. Legend slowing the pack down. He is the lead car. Safety car is just pulling into the pits as we speak, so when will Legend go? Usually it's it's the start of the chicane.
For it now.
And he's on the throttle.
He's got a great restart.
Oh yes, massive gap already to Fox, 1.2, 1.3.
Copy is unable to clear Fox on the first straight at least. So this is the only card that Legend has. I said Richard Grunwald speeds into the pit lane and retires from the session. So he's decided that was enough.
Yeah, everybody getting away safely then, apart from Richard, who unfortunately retires in the pits.
Whatever happened between him and, or if it was between him and somebody else, I don't know. We'll have to see after the race, I suppose. So, Legend in the meanwhile, though, 1.8 seconds to Fox already.
Yeah, he has to make this count, doesn't he? I mean, he's really praying for a safety car, another safety car. That would just be absolutely key for him.
Or if he can somehow, you know, run away with it at the front there with those old Inters, but I know, I just don't really see that happening. He's dropping Fox massively though, 2 seconds already. 2.1, 2.2. Oh, sorry, Copy. Why do I keep calling Copy wow? I don't know.
Sorry, Danico gets past Triton there, just out of the hairpin, so Triton not getting the best of exits. And Danico up to P13.
Oh. Marion taps the back of some idiot a little bit, but they get away with it. And Copy is still stuck behind his teammate, so Fox isn't really interested in letting his teammate go here. And he's basically working for Legend at the moment and not for Copy. Because some idiot is very close to Copy here, and I just don't see, Copy doesn't really have the confidence to close on Fox either, and Legend sets the fastest lap of the race, 39.4.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to be doing, hot lapping in these terrible conditions. It's not going to be easy, but he's going to have to push that car and milk it for all it's worth. And Copy
Legend doing exactly what he needs to. He's dropped Fox 2.5 seconds on this lap already. So,
and Danico, it gets past Nico, so Danico making his way through these guys at the back.
Yep.
And I think he did that in the S's as well, which is quite the feat.
He's got Terror ahead of him now. I would expect him to be a little bit of a challenge now, though. Following the gap at the front, the Legend hasn't really been a lot faster on this first sector on this lap, but still dropping Fox a little bit at least, and Copy right on the back of Fox, but still unable to pass him, and Fox is just leading this massive train behind him. But yeah, the further these guys on the old tires can go, the better for them, I think. Because they're gonna have that's the only thing that they have going for them in this race, if they have the tire delta at the end.
Yeah, riding on board with Hugo at the minute, right on the back of Marion as they head down to 130R. Let's see if he lifts. I doubt he will. Oh, a slight lift there, yeah. Ever so slight. I suppose dirty air as well is a big factor. Ooh, big close up there on Marion, the concertina effect in action.
Yep. Copy still trying to close in on Fox, but Fox is just... they're actually surprisingly quick on those old tires to me. Like Fox really running wide in turn 2 now, but or is that... how do you actually call it? Is turn 1 like the entirety of it, or is that turn 1 and 2? I don't know. And we have a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that? Is that Nico? And there's other sorts of carnage at the back there, so that's Null as well. So disaster for Nico and Null.
Yeah, no damage, but yep, they're way off the pace now. Dropped 10 seconds. Oh, and Nico off again.
He's off again, so Nico, I think his tires are completely cooked or something. Yep.
Gap at the front is
get underway.
3 seconds there briefly, and it dropped down to 2.9, 2.8, but yeah, increasing incrementally, but not fast enough.
No, definitely not, and as we have seen, even if you have these fresh tires, it is so hard to overtake in these conditions, so I don't know, even if Legend, so how much is it for a pit stop around here? It's like 20 seconds, so he would be like behind Bajarn as well. At least behind Triton in a few laps, so just don't really see how this would work in the end for Legend, but I don't know, we'll just have to see to the end, I guess. he's not really able to drop Fox anymore either. It's 3.2, so he's a couple of tenths faster, but that's not enough. I am a little surprised why they didn't pit. I guess Legend might have been the only thing I can really come up with is that he's decided to take that hit for some idiot and keep the championship.
Yeah, which if that's the case, that's a very nice gesture from Legend, because he's basically just compromised his race and a really good result.
Yeah. Or then what Jensen also suggested in chat, that maybe just inexperience coming into play. Honestly, we're just guessing at this point, so I think we'll maybe have to ask him after the race. And Nico retires in the pit lane, so he's had enough of that. And yeah, the train behind Fox is ever growing. Some idiot trying to find a way through Copy as well, but it's just impossible to overtake in these conditions.
Yeah, and I'm giving my man Tipsy Bob some screen time here, because he's doing pretty well up in P10.
Yep.
I know he's struggled with wet conditions in the past, but he's starting to get to grips with them. And he's hanging on to the back of Timo here. He's got Terror behind him and Timo in front. That's quite the combination, as there's... Yeah, I was going to say another yellow flag, but that's still Nico in the pits.
Yeah, Danny almost ran into the back of Terror and coming into Spoon corner. So much overspeed on him, but yeah. But I mean, this is the case. If you watch up front, they just can't overtake these these guys on the old tires either. So yeah.
It's basically a case of who blinks first, who makes the first mistake, even the smallest mistakes. Oh, and there is a bit of some idiot. Yeah, he's some idiot. That's one of the characteristics of his driving. He will show himself in your mirrors at every available opportunity.
Yeah, I would expect Copy and Rod not to really even flinch at that. He's way too experienced to you know, get thrown off by something like that. So Copy a very experienced driver as well. So he's just, I don't know, some idiot, of course, trying to play all those games he possibly can. But yeah, there Legend has actually lost some time on this lap. So I wonder if those tires and the pad are just, I don't know, coming to the end of their life.
Yeah, I think there were 25%.
Look at this train behind Fox.
Yeah, it's massive. But the tires are like 25%, roughly lap 6. So yeah, they're going to be hitting that cliff pretty soon, I would say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like 50-60% pretty soon. So Legend probably is going to pit in the next few laps.
See how he does.
On this lap, let's see.
On board with Legend at the minute through 130R. If he lifts, let's have a look. He does indeed lift a little bit, yep.
Copy very close to Fox now, but still unable to pass him. And do they pit this lap possibly? Yes. Legend into the pits, and Fox stays out. Not really sure what that is about. Is he... there is no way he's gonna get to the end anyway on those tires, so maybe he's just fishing for a safety car. And he runs wide in turn 1, so this is gonna open the door for a Copy. And he's probably gonna lose the spot to some idiot as well, but he will block Marion for another lap at least. So this releases Copy and some idiot. This is not great news for Hugo though, who is trying everything to find his way past Marion and Fox is just very, very slow now on those old Inters and holding up Marion, so some idiot and Copy are just running away with it at the front now. And yeah.
Oh, Danico gets past Terror. I didn't catch that, but it looked like it was after Spoon Curve, I think.
Marion, is he gonna try and send it on the inside into the hairpin? Yes, he is. So he's on the inside of Fox, and looks like he's gonna probably make that move. Yes, he is. So Marion up to P3. That's a great send from him, and
Hugo as well.
Also trying, and there's just no room.
Yeah, Hugo getting a wheel on the dirt there. Oh, no. And Fox turns in quite early there, it seemed. Bit of contact, but Hugo making his way through.
Yeah, I think Fox kind of missed his opportunity. He should have pitted last lap, because now he's just... Those tires are just absolutely dead, I think.
Yeah, Wow.
He's gonna have Wow in him as well now.
Ooh, Wow going wide there. But unable to make the move onto Fox. I wonder if Fox has to pit. Fox
Picks up
has
a
a
penalty and
penalty,
pits.
yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that was just one lap too much, I think, on those tires.
But
And
Formula
Bobby,
Chris,
once he's in the...
is all over the back of
Yeah.
WoW as they head down the turn one. I don't think he has enough speed to make a move, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's on the back of WoW here. A P6 Formula Chris, not bad. Timo as well now, P7 and Tipsy P8.
Look at that!
Oh,
Danny Co overtakes Tipsy on the outside of into the
yikes.
S. That is a crazy move, but Danny has made it stick. He's up to P8. That's a great move from Danny.
Yeah, we need to watch this guy a bit more. He's making his way through this field, and it's so difficult to pass. So commendable stuff from Danny Koo.
Indeed, and what has happened there? Timo, Formula Chris has had an issue, and he's had a terrible exit out of the second deckner there, and Danny and Timo are both past him. And also, I think Tipsy is sending it on the inside there, and he's got to make that move as well. So, wonder what has happened to Formula Chris. Does he have some sort of an issue, or whatever has happened to him, because he's lost 5 positions or 4 positions or something?
Yeah, Triton going for a move on Formula Chris now as well. On the outside of Spoon, and he takes a very wide line there in the first part. Not able to get that move to stick for now. So yeah, that's the commentator's curse in action. I just said he was doing really well, and then he falls down to P10.
Yeah. I'm just following the leading pack here. So Marion and Hugo are once again closing the gap on Copy and Some Idiot.
And there's contact between Formula Chris and Triton trying to send it. Oh, and Triton getting a 3-second penalty for cutting the last part of that final chicane. So frustration in that Ferrari cockpit today, I'm sure.
Yeah, and look at this. So Legend, after his pit stop, he's 10 seconds behind Triton. And yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to haul a big amount of points here today. So whether that was a championship gesture towards some idiot earlier in the race, we don't know, but it has definitely compromised the Legends race big time. He's pretty fast on those tires. He's catching Triton over 2 seconds on this Sector 1 alone, but oh, just sliding a little bit there, but Legend pushing for all that he's worth. Does Triton have some sort of damage, or what is
he's going very slow.
Very slow.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got some sort of an issue here, or whatever has happened here. So Triton just basically getting out of the way. So that is why Legend was closing in that fast.
And Legend got a 3-second time penalty there. It must be for the Degners.
Yeah. Yeah, some idiot. Marion and Hugo is 1.1 seconds away now, so yeah.
Danny Koo though making
Hugo is
big
probably
gains.
not gonna be too happy about if he doesn't win this race. He was definitely looking forward to this Suzuka race, and he's just not maybe had the best of luck with the weather conditions either.
Yeah, I'm right on board with Danny Koo. He's made massive gains already on P6 here, so his next victim is Timo ahead. He's going to see a lot of red and white in his rear view mirrors, but should be safe for now in the S's.
Yep. Biden entering the pit lane, and I wonder if this is a retirement. Yes, it is. So I don't know what happened to Triton there. He's had a very scruffy lap, and then he went very slow on the lap there. So wonder if that was some sort of a technical issue for Triton.
Hugo closing
Sad to see
up.
him go. So we have 4 DNFs now.
Hugo has made big gains on Marion here, so he's 0.6 behind now.
Yep.
So how many laps have we got? Roughly 9 laps to go, 9-10 laps to go in this one, so it's not over yet.
Definitely, but it's... I would say that for everybody here, the top 10 here is that the only question is, can they make their tires last to the end of the race? And Jensen is saying in chat that Marion's tires are at 42%, and that is very high, isn't it? So there is no way he's gonna get to the end without that actually going well into the puncture range. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting end to the race. Who can get their tires to the end? I think if anybody of the people that I know here, Some Idiot and Copy are one of the most gentle guys on their tires. So
Terra got quite close on the back of Tipsy Bob down the straight there, but not close enough to make a move.
Tipsy had an issue because 4.5 seconds away from Danny.
Yeah, might be onto something there. Yeah, maybe Tipsy's on a bit of tire management. Maybe he's playing the big brain strat here, but he does have Terra on his case right now.
Very scruffy lap there, 141.5, so that's about 3 seconds slower than Danny. So he's probably had some sort of an issue on that lap.
Pass at the back there, we got Bajarn and Noel battling over P13.
Yep. Sorry.
Starting to settle down again a little bit, but I think it's going to heat up here as we head into this final phase of the Grand Prix.
Yeah. Following Danny here, who is probably the closest guy to another car. He's very close to the back of Timo here. But Timo gets a pretty good exit onto the back straight, so Danny is too far back on this occasion.
Yeah, Timo's ERS is quite low, it's 20%, whereas Danny Kua is 54 heading into the final chicane here. I wonder if that'll come into play.
They locked up a little bit going into the final chicane, and oi, that was so close to the inside wall there. But gets away with it, but yeah, loses the touch to Timo while doing that. And yeah, Tipsy hasn't really lost any time on this lap now, so he's got his rhythm back. I think Legend, by the way, overtakes Formula Chris, who pits, by the way. So he's thinking that those tires are not going to go to the end, which I mean, if all of these 9 drivers at the front of the field are going to try to go to the end, and Jensen said that the tires are already at 42% for somebody, I would be very surprised if we don't see at least one puncture here toward the end.
Yeah, so might be an idea, yeah, from Formula Chris. Maybe he's onto something. Yeah.
He was already struggling a little bit earlier on those tires, so I don't know. Maybe he's 9 seconds behind Fox, though, so I don't know. Maybe could that be the lifeline for Legends race? That all of these people ahead of him have to pit again? I don't know.
Yeah, P1 to P4 still running fairly close together. Then we've got P5 and 1.5 behind. Timo just within that 1 second range now. Danny Ko keeping Timo honest. 0.5 behind. And
Timo keeping WoW honest, by the way, as well. So,
yeah, he's got a guy behind him driving him forward here. He can't afford to make any mistakes here. He has to be on his game. And Danny Ko being a bit more careful for that final chicane. And 0.3 behind. I don't think it's going to be close enough to do anything.
Timo's deploying as well. Timo is out of battery now, though, so that is Danny's chance. If he can push Timo, keep pushing Timo to deploy, that is his only chance to actually overtake him. As we've seen, it's almost impossible to overtake anybody in the wet unless they really make some sort of a mistake up front, or you're like, I don't know, 3 seconds a lap faster on Delta. Tipsy once again has lost quite a bit of time this lap, so I don't know, Tipsy maybe is struggling a little bit in these wet conditions. We both know he doesn't really enjoy wet track conditions, but so far he's done a pretty good job here.
Yeah, and Terror, he's having to, I'm sure Terror is a bit frustrated having to be stuck behind Tipsy Bob, and maybe he's got a bit of pace on him, but yeah, it's just so hard to overtake.
Looks like this leading quartet just can't do anything about it, so there, I don't know. I just don't see, so Copy, for example, he has got basically a full battery up the road. He's actually in the best situation on the battery out of all 4 of them, and he's leading this pack, so yeah, unless Copy makes a pretty big mistake here, I think he's got this covered, and those tires go to the end on that assumption, of course.
Danny Coe quite close on the back of Timo on this start-finish straight as Timo's ERS will be depleted here, and Danny Coe looks like he's going to go for a move, but he backs out in the last second. Oh, and he might even think about it in turn 2, but no.
Yep.
He looks quite
Timo having to go a little bit defensive there, but yeah, just no way to stick your nose in there in these conditions at least. Oh, and Danny almost losing it on the curb there. Through the S is one thing I'm following here. Legend is 5.9 seconds away from Terror, and I would have expected him to close this gap a little bit quicker. So I don't know. Maybe the even if the tires are a little bit worn, the pace delta between them isn't so much.
And Wow as well, making some gains on this lead pack, so he's 0.8, 0.9 behind now. He does have that 3-second time penalty, which is going to cost him a couple of positions, it seems, as Formula Chris gets a penalty himself.
Pretty close to Marion, but you won't be able to send it. He's got a really good run to 130R, and yeah, just shows his nose in into the final chicane. Legend gets another 3 seconds, so even if he's oh, and Marion is pitting. Marion is pitting.
Okay, so there we go. He's the first guy to blink. I wonder if these other guys are looking at that going, oh no. You're going to have to either go with it or you're going to have to pit. It's probably going to be a gamble for a lot of these guys.
Legend though, isn't he? Yeah, Legend blasting down the main straight 300. And 15 kph down the main straight, and Marion is just coming outside the out of the pits, and he's good 4 or 5 seconds behind Legend, I think. Who does have those 6 seconds, but it's sort of just track position wise. So if those leading guys have to pit, Legend is gonna be in the net lead on track, but he of course has those penalties to contend with 6 seconds.
Interesting stuff. I
really just can't believe that a copy where some idiot would pit here, or Hugo either. They're just gonna gamble it, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they either pit this lap or that's it. I mean, but yeah. It's lap 23, so I imagine they're gonna all stay out. But we don't know what kind of tire wear they have at the minute. I mean, it's Jonah's saying
it's probably not great, but
Jonah's estimating 70 to 75%.
I think it's probably gonna be at least that in the end. I think a little bit higher, because Marion was 42% on, what was that, lap 17 or something? Maybe not that. Lap 18, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They have to be in the puncture territory in the.
Oh, Danny Coe's right on the back of Timo. Timo going defensive already. And it's all going to come down to ERS, and Danny Coe now runs out, so that's key for Timo to keep this position.
They're both out of ERS, and the toe effect in this game is very small, so Danny unable to make that move. But they're still dropping, but I mean, Tipsy Bob is actually dropping Terror now. That's pretty interesting to see.
I wonder, I think Terror's maybe going into tire conservation mode.
Yeah.
He is on the pad.
He's just praying that those tires do make it to the end.
He's being very tentative for the S's and then the Dunlop. But yeah, I think there's guys in the chat saying they're definitely going to get a puncture, whereas Dragon saying I don't think they will get a puncture. I'd be surprised if one of the top 3 here don't get a puncture. But let's see, with 4 laps to go.
I'm really interested to see or hear what the percentages have been at the end of the race here, but probably at least very, very close to the puncture range or over it. And Hugo right on the back of some idiot here. Deploying everything from his battery. Some idiot isn't deploying actually, so is Hugo gonna try and send it into the final chicane here on some idiot? Showing his nose in there, and he's choosing to back out of it on this occasion. get on throttle there onto the main straight, and Hugo once again deploying everything. Some idiot isn't deploying. He's maybe been caught off guard here a little bit, so Hugo on the outside into turn 1, and I'm getting an absolutely dreadful camera angle, but has Hugo actually made that move stick? He's actually done it, I think. He's up to P2. He's overtaken some idiot, and that's I
huge.
wonder if he caught some idiot napping a little bit on the main straight there, because some idiot wasn't deploying and Hugo just went for it.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, Hugo, he's obviously behind in the Drivers' Championship, but that is important for him to keep those championship dreams alive.
Yeah.
But the problem is, can he keep his tires alive? Can he keep them inflated? I mean, he's racing quite hard here, and somebody is dropping back a bit. I wonder if somebody.
I wonder if he's saving his tires now.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's. I think they're all hitting puncture range right about now, and they still have another 2 laps to go after this. What I was about to say, Hugo has actually won 1 championship already, hasn't he, in SLR? But here he is the challenger.
Yeah, Marian made his way past the legend there. He's got those fresher tires, and they're obviously paying off for him right now. Terror as well picked up a 3-second time penalty, so Marian's within range. Yeah, Marian's within range of P8 already, so he's got like a... Ooh, Marian going quite wide there in Spoon. Seen a bunch of penalties coming in here, but the top guys are so far keeping it on track, keeping their tires inflated.
Legends has had an absolutely terrible lap there. He's lost 3.5 seconds to Marian on that lap, but yeah, maybe those, I don't know, just not enjoying those. Marian runs a little deep into the chicane, and what is happening up front here? Wow is actually right in the back of some idiot. Timo about 2 seconds away, and I think all of these guys are just trying to get these tires to the end now. And yeah, did Wow have only 3 seconds? Yeah, so at the moment he's gonna be overtaken by both Timo and Danny.
What a recovery drive from Danny, though. I don't want to curse his race at this late stage, but he's had an absolute stellar comeback drive.
Well, Hugo, Cursed saying in chat that Hugo has 1 and 2 S2 in like a season 5. Yep, that's probably true. I'm just talking about this season. I'm too old to remember such ancient times. Yeah. Anyway, Hugo is actually pretty close to Copy here.
Yeah, I'm looking at tire temperatures.
Tried something on the final lap. Copy does have a lot of ERS though, so I highly doubt that he would be able to overtake him.
Tire temperatures on Hugo's wheel look pretty standard, around about 80 Celsius.
Yeah. Hugo is so much faster than Copy, and especially in the braking zones there, but I think he's just not gonna have the ERS to do anything about Copy up front, because, you know, look at that, even though Hugo is in tow, he's losing time because Copy is just deploying down the main straight. And yeah, I think this is just tire management now, because nobody is really daring to attack anybody except Hugo is trying to push. Marian sets the fastest lap of the race, 37.9, entering the final lap of the race. And he might still get Tipsy Bob here.
Yeah, we'll try and keep an eye on that battle, but I'm just wanting to see if all these tires stay fully inflated. It'll be quite a miracle if that is the case, but...
So far so good, I think, for everybody. Marian right at the back of Tipsy Bob. And Tipsy gets it all wrong out of Dunlop there, and just trying to see, does Tipsy have a puncture? Yes, he does. Tipsy's left rear tire has gone. Oh no.
Okay, so Terror's gonna get him then?
He's been, he's had the same fate as I did last season, so... I know how that feels, so
look at this, Hugo right on the back of Copy as they come out of Spoon Curve, and Hugo deploying whatever he has left in the ERS, which isn't much.
Enough.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough.
Copy still has a 30% battery, so I don't think Hugo is going to be able to, he's really trying to send everything he can into the final chicane, but he's too far back, and Copy is gonna And we have a yellow flag on the final lap that tips him up spinning with the puncture, and I think Copy is gonna win this race across the line just about under a tenth to Hugo. Some idiot third, wow, fourth, and Timo is not gonna get the wow. So 0.1 of a gap. So wow keeps that even with that 3-second penalty. Then Marion across the line as well. Legend, Terror, and Fox is gonna come back. And is he? Oh no!
Oh, Fox! Oh no!
Did you see that? He's spun out of the final corner, and that's gonna give Formula Chris the final point, I think.
No.
Oh no! That was like who did it earlier? This.
Inferno.
Was it Inferno? Yeah. So. So commiserations for Fox. Tips him up, fighting it across the line even with that puncture, and comes home in P11, I think. So.
Oh, he's gonna be gutted about that. Yeah, he was running pretty well there.
He would have been P8 at least.
Yeah. So there you go. Tipsy Bob P11, no P12, and last but not least is Bajarn in P13.
And so Copy does win in the end. I certainly probably wouldn't have. I mean, I honestly thought that Hugo would run away with this, but I think what sort of made this race for Copy was that rocket start he had off the line.
Yeah, congrats to Copy. What a stellar win, but Hugo as well, P2, kind of had that mistake earlier on in the race, but yeah, came back and put P2, was able to put that move on some idiot in the down moments of the race, and that keeps his championship dreams alive. Just about.
It's gonna be so where did Hugo second and some idiot third? So that's only 3 points between them. So Hugo gets 3 points on some idiot, and I think that's gonna put the gap to 38 points entering Coda. Is it?
Yeah, we've got US, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So 4 races left.
And Chief, I have information from Danny Co that the tires were at 87% at the end. So how do they? Only Tipsy Bob got the puncture, so that is. I'm not sure how else to put it. Like all of them are incredibly lucky, or then Tipsy Bob is very unlucky. But I think all of them are incredibly unlucky too, because 75% plus is the puncture range. So, yeah.
Yeah, good job to WoW as well for pulling out that 3-second gap there to seal P4.
Yeah, can you maybe just scroll down all the way down the order, by the way, since you're streaming, so the who is doing the results can write them down correctly in the standings. So, yeah.
Yeah, everybody after Fox DNF'd. So there you go.
Yeah, anyway, so Copy wins, a brilliant race from him, and the absolutely great start from him basically won him this race. Hugo coming in second, just 98 1,000th of a second behind Copy, some idiot 3 seconds away, and then WoW did manage to maintain that gap to Timo by 1/10, so wins the German battle on track today. Timo 5th, Danny 6th, Marion 7th, Terror 8th, Legend 9th, Formula Chris 10th, and Tipsy Bob with that very unfortunate puncture drops down to P11 on the final lap of the race.
Yes, indeed, and we have our first interviewee waiting in the wings, so I'll bring him in. It's none other than some idiot. What a race from you, my man. Wanted to bring Legend in as well. I don't see him about there, but yeah, tell us about that. I mean, Legend stayed out, and that allowed you to pit in without getting held up. What was that about? Were you in VC together, or was that just a gesture from his part?
I was completely shocked that Legend didn't pit. I was fully expecting him to pit, and I would lose a couple spots in the pit lane because I had a previous race on Friday where I knew the Inter could go to the end from that point. And I mean, thank you to Legend for staying out for that. I did not expect that one bit.
Well, he's here. I've actually got him in chat. So, Legend, there you go. Some idiot is thanking you for that. Was that on purpose? Did you do that for some idiot, or was that just you were trying to stay out? Was that your own strategy?
I mean, it was kind of both. I was thinking maybe I could help him by not pitting, and also I was thinking that I can't get the inters to the end because I was using a dry setup, and I was right. I finished like pitting like lap 14. I finished with 70% wear, and
Yeah, I was at 76 and I was in full tire saving mode. Pretty well, like probably from about 5 laps into the stint onwards, I went into tire saving mode, and I mean that was going to be one of my talking points is just how random punctures are in this game to
Yeah.
where you can either push the entire way and you don't blow a tire, or you could tire save the entire way and still blow a tire. It's just I gave up the spot to Hugo. One, he was quicker, and then two, I was like, oh, surely they're all going to blow tires in front of me. If I just keep saving, they're going to blow tires. I'll get by them, but it never happened.
Yeah.
I think only Tipsy Bob got a puncture of anybody. So
Yeah, it's just.
I think
What can I say? I tried.
Iceland's a good one to refer to. It was Suzuka, wasn't it? Ice, where you hit 75 and in an instant the tire just blew up.
It was last season. I checked on the main straight. I had 74% wear, and then out of turn 1, putting a little bit of power down, and it just blew.
Yeah, it's just how random punctures are, and it's just. I wish that wasn't how the tire model worked. I wish it meant something if you actually overdrove the tire when it was super worn.
Yeah.
To where you would actually have a chance at blowing a tire versus it's just the way I understand it. This might be a bit wordy, but it's the way they've programmed it is every percent you go up, there is a chance that each tire set has already got a preset puncture percent for every, I believe. And sometimes it's not even your most worn tire, but every single tire has a possible percent to where it will blow up, and you don't know it until it happens. So somebody can go to 99% and not blow a tire, and others can be at 75 and immediately blow a tire. That's just how that tire puncture model works. I could be completely wrong, but that's my best estimation of it. And it's just, I don't know why they programmed it like that, but what can I say?
Yeah. Well, that's commendable. Legend, staying out to let somebody, obviously somebody that's in the championship fight, he's got the lead there. But yeah, I mean, Hugo went for that move. We were kind of calling on stream. You didn't use overtake on that start finish straight to defend. Was that a choice that you made in your head, or was that just you got caught napping by Hugo there?
To me or to Legend?
Yourself, somebody, yeah.
Yeah, no, he was quicker, and I had the mind of he was going to push too hard and he would blow his tires. Because as soon as you hit 75, like I said, if you don't go as many percents up, you have a lesser chance technically of blowing the tire. If you push, you're going to go higher percent, and you could get closer and closer to that percent number. He actually blew a tire on the cooldown lap. Hugo, he blew a left front tire, so it was really close. Like another lap and would have gotten possibly could have gotten Hugo. Copy, he didn't. I don't know what his percent was at the end. I'm gonna have to check on that. But congrats to Copy. That's his first win of the season, if I'm not mistaken. He won last season in Japan, so.
Yeah, good job then.
I mean, yeah, congrats to him. Congrats to Hugo. But anything else I can
yeah. There's one other thing. Maybe it's more directed towards Legend, but yourself as well. Hugo didn't. He seemed like he got a decent start, but everybody else around him seemed to get a even better start, especially Legend. Just talk us through that start. What was going through your head into turn 1 there?
Yeah, I mean, I got a good start. I got like Danny, I think Wow in front of me, and then my teammate. I got them around the outside, and I tried Hugo's as well, but he was kind of aggressive and pushed me off a little bit. And the first laps, I was quite close to getting him. Actually, I tried diving him in the last chicane, but again defended pretty nicely, and I couldn't overtake him. And then it was for the safety car that pretty much ended my race.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of wondering if it would be another safety car to save you and pay back the favor. But yeah, good race from both you guys, and look forward to seeing you in USA next week.
That'll be fun. That's going to be a fun one.
Home GP for the man himself. So.
And then the week after.
Oh yes,
Mexico week.
Mexico
week.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I want to circle the calendar for.
so watch out, Hugo.
Two some idiot races coming up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what
He's
happens.
gonna win.
But
He's gonna win.
nope, I'm not gonna jinx it. Okay, thank you for having me, guys. I'm gonna jump out.
Hey guys, catch you later. Thanks for joining us.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Okay then, who else we got here? We got Wow 125, Terror, Noel, Beamer. Who do you want?
No, let's take maybe the commentator duo.
Yeah, let's bring them in. They can these guys can interview themselves. Go ahead. Timo.
Are they here?
Yeah, we just brought you in. You guys are you don't need me to ask you questions. You can ask each other the questions.
Yeah, I think that is actually how it should go. So Timo,
Okay,
please
Terror.
interview Terror and Terror.
Okay, so Tara, I mean, you went into the race saying you want to, you'd be happy if you get some points, and then during the race it sounded like you were quite disappointed, but it was P8 in the end, so it was like a roller coaster of feelings for you, wasn't it? How do you feel at the end of it?
I'm not disappointed with the result. I'm disappointed with the fact the race was really boring. I'm playing Rocket League now. That's much more interesting than the race was. So yeah, it was boring. The end. Pretty
you want
much.
to ask me anything? Please say no.
Nah, not really.
Okay, that's it. Bye.
I had fun, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you guys though, because I was sort of it's impossible to overtake in the wet, isn't it? Like unless somebody even makes a mistake ahead of you. So
Yeah, nothing I could do. I realized tires were close as well, so I couldn't even push at the end of the race. I was just like in tire conservation mode, hoping that other people would get punctures. Tipsy got a puncture, got me a position. Couldn't deal with Marion because he was much too fast, and I couldn't push because of tire issues. Ended the race on 76%, so ended up judging it just fine. But like, yeah, it was just boring. Like, there's nothing else to be said. Wet weather driving is often boring in F1 2019 and in F1 2020, and it was today.
Okay.
I fundamentally sort of agree. Yeah, I mean, to me it's not boring because keeping the car on track through every corner is getting me excited enough. So I wouldn't. Like, I don't think driving there is boring, but the racing sometimes is a little bit of a problem. And I was really happy to make Danny find that out today, because he got stuck behind me twice. Once of which he, spun out of 130R. The second time he just got stuck normally, and we went to the end like that. And I am happy with my result. I'm just annoyed that I lost out to WoW by 1/10 because I didn't push enough on the last lap. Because I finished on 76% or 77 or something. So, yeah. Also, there was a hilarious bug by Noel, which everyone should check out. So if you're watching this, you should check out F1 Tier 1 discussions and look at the video Noel sent. That's all I have to say.
Okay. I see he's posted one.
there's a
I found
tire
Ken's
going
tire.
down the middle.
Yeah, well, the description is there's a tire rolling through the pit lane. He gets released and hits the tire while not in control, and he comes out of the pits without a wing. Like, he genuinely lost his front wing in the pit lane because of a rolling tire from Danny.
That is hilarious.
Oh
That is
my
incredible.
The game that just keeps
Once
giving.
again.
Now, absolutely. What? What is this?
It's beautiful.
Oh my god! I've never seen that before. What?
No. And it's very well possible I might have been the one who kicked it into the pit lane, because I knowingly drove over that thing when it was in the entry of the pit lane. So I don't know.
Anyway, right. Well, we'll move you back into the general chat so you can get on with Rocket League. But yeah, good race from
Thank you.
good race from both of you guys. I mean, Terry, you got stuck behind Tipsy for a bit. Was that holding you up in the race though, or were you just holding on?
No, not really. He was as fast as I was. I was just holding him there. A couple of times I tried to be a little bit cheeky with like battery and stuff, but there's just no way you can overtake unless he makes a major mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I backed off right at the end, so he got a little bit of a gap, but then of course he got a puncture as well. So Yeah.
R.I.P. that man. Yes, I'm sure he's not too happy about that one, but he was doing pretty well for wet conditions. I know
Who,
he's not
Tipsy?
Yeah, Tipsy. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta like he was my benchmark through the race because I practiced a lot for Suzuka and I thought I like should be really quick here, as seen in tier 2. And yeah, then in the first stint I just couldn't clear Tipsy and Terra for the life of me, and I was getting really frustrated because I felt like the rain robbed me of showing off my actually good pace on the track. And then at some point I just like I didn't feel anything going differently, but I suddenly just started clearing him, and in the end it was like 10 seconds. And, like I thought he was struggling, but I guess it was just I found a rhythm or something. In the first half, he was bothering me a lot.
Well, here I tell you what, Beamer. I mean, that quali lap that you did, wow, that was pretty impressive. 25.9 was it, or 25.8?
Yeah, 25.9, and I lost 2.5 tenths on it, but that's fine. I'm
Oh,
not gonna.
you've got that
I'm
fast
not
boy
gonna.
mentality now, where it's like even when you do a super fast lap, you're like, oh, 2 tenths. It's like you got a 25.9. Come on, bro.
Oh, had it been just yeah, I'm happy, but it's had it.
You could be happier.
If it's a 20, if it's a 26 flat, and I just improved on my delta at every point of the lap, then I'm like not as annoyed as when I do a 25.9, but I was up by 2 tenths at one point and then lost it all due to one mistake. Like I went down on the delta after the hairpin. I was up by 2 tenths to the sector one. Then I lost both of them in the hairpin, and I then clawed 3 tenths out of spoon that I didn't know were there. So that's how I got to that time. And then had I not dropped it in the hairpin, it could have been maybe 0.7, which would have been like amazing. I would have absolutely loved that. But I'm not gonna complain. Like the pace was there, and I hope I can do it again next week. Anyways, thanks for having us. Thanks for commentating.
Yes, not a problem, guys. We'll move you back into the
Thanks,
general
guys.
chat. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
And we'll bring in Wow. I see Wow's patiently waiting there in the wings. So he had a pretty good finish to the race. Wow, you're joining us in the commentary booth. It's myself and Icewind. Yeah, we're just talking about you had that 3-second time penalty, and throughout the race we're going like that's going to cost you a few positions. But in the end, it didn't. On those old tires, you were able to build a 3-second gap. Just tell us about that. I mean, what were your tires sitting at percentage-wise?
I think I was going into the last lap with 82% on the rears. So
Wow.
yeah, I was kind of lucky to get through, to be honest. And Timo told me in voice chat that he was too cautious on his last lap. He had better tire wear than me, and I think he could have pushed a little bit more to get this last 10th he lost out on. But yeah, it wasn't anyway, and I'm generally I'm quite happy that I didn't lose any positions from that silly time penalty, to be honest. Like, yeah, I got it on a safety car as well, which is
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, saw that.
avoidable, but yeah, it didn't cost anything, so I think for this one it's fine.
Yeah, at one point it looked like you were going to lose 2 positions to Timo and Danny, but then that last few laps, then you just built up that 3-second gap, which was quite commendable. So good job, man. I mean, tell us about the conditions where how did you find them today?
I usually do some rain practice before the races, but today I didn't, and I wasn't really confident going into the race. My point was okay, and I actually used a dry setup throughout, so with with some minor tweaks. But overall, I didn't have really the confidence. I think it kind of built up towards the half point of the race where I got a little bit more confidence, especially in sector 1, the SS, where you can lose it quite easily.
Yeah.
But overall, the conditions were pretty tricky, I guess. Everyone had to be a little bit more cautious and look after the tires as well. I think the safety car kind of made a little bit of a gamble. Who makes it to the end and who doesn't. I heard that Tipsy unfortunately didn't have the luck I had. So
Yeah.
It is at this point it was kind of RNG. But yeah, tricky race.
I was actually saying at some point in the race and the comms that if like all of these cars get home without a puncture, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, dismayed.
Yeah.
But then Tipsy got a puncture in the final lap, but everybody else made it to the end. So
Yeah,
good good RNG for most of the drivers today.
Yeah, I guess. Like I think I had like 85% crossing the line. I didn't check again. I was just very happy to be able to finish it overall. So yeah.
Yeah, good job, Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but we were watching. If you watch the stream back, you'll see that I was avidly watching the front four guys, and I was like, "Who is going to have a tire deflate first?" And it didn't happen, so I'm a bit disappointed about that. But
we're sorry.
I just wanted to say, yeah. But then Tipsy sort of kind of saved the day.
Okay. I think he has another opinion on that, but
yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah. So I better end the stream before he hears me and jumps in here and takes over. But we'll see you again in US, I'm sure, and Mexico after that. So thanks for joining us in the commentary booth. I'll move you back in general chat.
Yep.
And ISO9, that's it for this week. Japan's over.
One thing we kind of skipped. Maybe it's not really a thing in 2SRL, but who do we think for driver of the day in this race? I had one guy in mind here.
I think DC is the man. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because he had that incident, and he was actually like the only driver in the wet who actually made moves throughout the race. So Danny for me would be the guy who's and he's actually made him one position from his starting grid, 7th to 6th. So, and that's going from the from last at one point in the race as well. So
yeah, great job from Danny Cote today. I mean, obviously that incident. I can't remember what happened, but yeah, he was off at 130R. No damage, but yeah, right at the back of the field, making his way all the way through. Made it look easy for the most part until he came up against Timo and just couldn't get past him. But yeah, great finish from him, and that rounds it up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we have one like maybe the most important question in chat from Mr. Keyboard Magnussen. Was there enough gammon today?
I think this whole week has just been there's been plenty of gammon on offer. So I mean, yeah, you mentioned it already. I won tier 4 somehow, some way, and that's enough gammon for me.
All right, so the answer is yes.
Yes, plenty of, and there's a gammon run tonight as well, I think, in SLR. So if you're interested in that, jump over there. And I think that runs it up. So next week we have the USA, and it's the usual schedule. If you want to see that, it's in the video description. But until then, it's goodbye from myself and Icewind. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.